Jersey Mike's, they do a Community Hero Award every year. Just so happens this year I got the most nominations in the whole country. They donate $5,000 to the gym. They also featured me in this documentary. Like, honestly, part of it was super awkward because I don't like people making a big deal about what I'm doing because I feel like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. I feel like everybody should care about kids. Everybody should care about other people. To me, when you make a big deal about me doing that type of stuff, it's like, why aren't you doing this type of stuff?
Right. A lot of people are just busy with their lives, right? They have kids. They got careers. We move at such a speed in life, even in the best of circumstances. It's just hard to focus on kids when you've got so much to worry about yourself. It says what you're doing, it's passion work.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Joe Schmo Sports Show. With you, as always, my name is Clint Webb. I am here with my co-host, Mr. Dominic Battistella.
What's going on, Clint?
The man on the ones and twos behind the magic curtain, Mr. Dre Cameron.
What's up,
and
y'all?
Today, we have a very special guest, a local basketball guru, if you will, Mr. Mike Jones. How's things, bro?
Everything's good, man. Thank you so much for y'all having me, man.
Hey, thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you came by, man. You talk sports, and that's what we do here.
Yes,
so,
sir. Sports is life.
So, man, we talked a little pregame here. We're just going to let do your thing and ask you some questions along the way.
Right.
Just tell us a little bit about Mike Jones, and then tell us a little bit about the Guru School.
Okay. Originally, I'm from Durham.
Okay.
Bull City?
Yes, sir. I grew up in Durham. 95% of my family's there. I played basketball at Jordan High School.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, played 4 years there. I ended up getting a basketball scholarship to a small school right outside of Charlotte called Barber Scotia College in Concord. I played there for 3 years.
What division is that?
Oh, it's actually NAIA. It's
NAIA.
NAIA
Okay.
Division I. Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. So it's kind of like, what's a good way to compare it? Have you seen the show Last Chance U?
Yes.
On Netflix.
Yes.
Think
Okay.
Last Chance U, but basketball.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what it was.
Okay.
Essentially. Yes.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
like the guys that couldn't qualify for NCAA for whatever reason.
Oh,
guys that got in
okay.
trouble, stuff like that.
Almost like JUCO.
Low key.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Similar,
Okay.
very similar to JUCO.
Did you
So,
guys play Pfeiffer?
We did play
Because
Pfeiffer.
I had a friend of mine that went to Pfeiffer on a basketball scholarship. That was back way in the olden days.
Yeah.
Like
We
90s.
did play Pfeiffer. Yeah, I remember that.
So when was this? What year?
This was 2001 to 2004. I was there.
Okay. All
So
right.
then after that, my coach got the head coaching job at Livingstone College in Salisbury.
Okay.
And
All right.
they're Division II. So he took a couple of kids with him. I was one of the ones he took with him. So I went there. I played my senior year there, and I graduated. And I had a couple opportunities to go play overseas and stuff like that. But at the time, I had just had a son. He was probably a year and a half at the time, and I decided that it was more important to be a dad.
Where were your offers at?
I could have played in Venezuela. I had a look in the Dominican. There was another one in Puerto Rico, mostly the Latin countries
Okay.
down south.
What position did you play?
I was a point guard.
Okay,
Yes, I was a point guard.
He's not throwing in the 5-spot or
Nah.
No, he didn't
I didn't
look
spend
that
much
tough.
time on the block.
He can
No.
probably teach you how to defend it, but
Oh,
he's
yeah,
not
for
gonna-
sure.
Being a point guard, it's probably the most cerebral position.
Oh, absolutely.
In basketball, hence the guru part,
Yes,
right?
precisely. Yes,
I got
yes.
you.
I was never the tallest. I wasn't the biggest in terms of stature. So I always say that I made it as far as I did make it just because of my brain. That was mostly what it was. I thought the game. I was the guy that knew every play from every position.
Hence
Like-
why you do what you do now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Similar. Yes. So
All
now
right, you were in college.
I was in college.
Okay. At
We
Livingston.
went to the Elite Eight.
Oh,
My
nice.
senior year,
Okay.
that type of thing. We got T-shirts and all that type of stuff. But yeah, so once I left Livingstone, I bounced around, did a couple odd and end jobs, stuff like that. It's interesting because once the professional dream fizzles out, like so much of our identity as athletes, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's so tied into being an athlete. So once that kind of fizzles out, it's like, man, what do I do now? Who am I outside of Mike Jones, the basketball player? So I stumbled around. I was the FedEx man. I was the maintenance man in the
what
hotel.
was your degree in?
Recreation administration.
Okay.
Recreation administration. Yeah.
All right.
Ironically
Makes
enough,
sense.
I wanted to open a youth center.
Makes sense.
I wanted
Okay.
to open a youth center.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So, I bounced around, did a couple odds and end jobs, stuff like that. The FedEx man, I was a maintenance man, stuff like that. And then eventually I started working with children at a recreation center.
Okay. Which one?
Campus Hills in Durham.
Okay.
Started working there. I was doing summer camp. I realized how much I enjoyed being around kids and playing basketball and doing stuff like that. And then it just eventually became a passion for me. And I started coaching. I was the assistant on varsity at East Chapel Hill High School.
My alma mater.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was there for 5 years, almost 6. And one of the kids that was there my very first year, his name was Carter Collins.
Okay.
Carter Collins ended up scoring 1,500 points. He broke Chris Hobbs' record.
Wow.
In terms of scoring, if that gives you any reference to him.
Sure.
He broke a whole bunch of records. He ended up being the number 2 player in the state when he graduated.
What year was that?
He graduated 17.
So he was behind Kobe White?
Yes.
Okay, so Kobe White was in
No,
the
I think Kobe was the year. He was the year after that.
Was the year 28?
He was 18.
Okay.
Yes, he was actually behind Brandon Huffman.
Yeah.
Huffman was number 1 and Blake Harris.
Well,
you remember Blake Harris played at NC State for a little while?
And Huffman went to Hofstra and did his thing.
No, he goes to Jacksonville State. He dominated. He's played really well, too.
Yeah, except for the last game. Apparently.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't play very well last
That's
game.
what I heard. Anyway.
Yes, he didn't play very well last game. But so Carter got popular, and I was basically his trainer outside of coaching, practice, and stuff like that. We would spend hours and hours in the gym, and as he gradually got more and more popular in the area, I, in turn, got more popular. I mean, who is this guy working with? Who is teaching him this type of stuff? So he got popular. I, in turn, got popular, and I started charging people for it, essentially.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? It started with 1 kid, then 1 went to 5, turned to 10, to 20. I've worked with a lot of kids at this point.
Yeah, that's what turned into the Guru School?
That's what turned into the Guru School.
Explain to me what the concept is behind the Guru School.
It was originally, I just wanted my own space. I wanted my own gym.
Yeah.
Because I was bouncing around at different recreation centers and different parks and stuff like that in the Chapel Hill area.
Okay.
And everybody would charge me. So eventually, I got tired of this, man. I want to do my own shit. So I went and I started getting into the process. And once I realized what I could actually do with the space, I was like, man, just doing basketball, I'm just selling myself short. Man, I could do so much more with this. So I decided outside of basketball, we could do tutoring. We could do virtual learning. We could do community outreach.
Oh, nice.
Like, we can do all types of different stuff. So basketball is really basketball is how it started, but it's gotten so much bigger than basketball now. It's a beautiful thing to see.
The basketball is your moneymaker, though.
Yeah, partly, yeah.
Tutoring's got to be something.
Tutoring is lucrative. The money, summer camps, stuff like that is very lucrative.
What ages are you working with?
In terms of basketball, I work with kids as young as 6 and 7 all the way up to, I have one guy, funny story. He reached out to me on Facebook one time. He's like, yeah, man, I was wondering if you could start training me, working with me one-on-one. I'm like, yeah, of course, man. So I asked him through the course of the conversation, what grade are you in? He said, there's probably been some sort of miscommunication. He said, I'm a grown man.
There's been a miscommunication.
Yeah, man, I'm 37 years old. I was like, that's cool, but like, why would you want a basketball trainer at 37 years old? He says, every Tuesday and Thursday night, I go to open gym, and I'm tired of these young boys running circles around me. I need something in my arsenal. Yeah, so it's interesting.
He needs to play cerebral because he doesn't have the raw athleticism anymore.
Exactly.
Especially to mess with these kids
for
now.
sure.
Yeah.
He's lost a step or two.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now everything hurts when you get to be in your late 30s, early 40s.
Stuff you didn't even know could hurt starts hurting.
Yeah, because he's
Tell
only
me
a few
about it.
years younger than we are.
Yeah.
I literally just turned 38 Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, Jim,
I just turned
did not know
38 Friday. But in terms of the tutoring and everything else, we try to focus on elementary school kids.
Okay.
The younger, the better.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you look for tutors still?
Do I look for them?
Like
I still need
employ
to.
them? Okay.
Yes, for sure. Layla's supposed to help me.
She would love that.
Yeah. She
nice.
actually reached out to me about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
I will
the
make
moment
sure she reaches back out.
Please do. I'd love to have her to come help for sure.
So-
Anybody who wants to help.
So you're tutoring young kids, like an after-school program type of thing.
Precisely.
Help them. What kids are coming in there for tutoring? What kids are coming in there for basketball? What is the?
I'm so blessed because I work with such a diverse group of kids. You got the kids who come from the single-parent households.
Yeah.
You got the kids who live on Weaverderry.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just everywhere in between. And one of the best parts about my youth center and just the Guru School in general is like kids who wouldn't normally get a chance to interact with these different demographics outside of school. I'm going to force you to be friends. Like, you're not going to be in here and not talk to each other. You're not going to be in here and not interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's just very cool to see like kids taking a liking to each other and understanding that this kid may come from a totally different world than I come from, but we're still kids. He's a kid just like I am.
Yeah, of course.
Basketball is so universal.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's so universal. Like it brings together so many people.
It's a way to tie life together because I think it was funny when you were describing earlier that experience that an athlete goes through. What is my identity after sports? It's not just a universal issue that athletes go through. It's anybody who makes a large change. Yeah, if you make a midlife career change or something like that, or if you've been in a long-term relationship and all of a sudden you're out of it. What is life without that thing that I've been so tied to for my identity. Who am I now? And the basketball is almost a metaphor for that, because life is like that. We all experience the same common issues and problems, but having basketball brings everybody together. We realize really all just the same.
Exactly.
We come from different places. We have different experiences, but we all experience the same shit, just slightly differently.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So how has COVID affected the Guru School?
I'll be honest with you. We opened up probably the third week of December, and I'd had the keys since August. We had been renovating and painting and getting all this stuff done on the inside. I was so excited to get the doors open. I may not have been the most responsible in the beginning.
Right.
So it was a process. I had a couple kids test positive. We had to close for a couple days. It was a learning experience, but now we're like super duper diligent about it. Super duper diligent about it, man.
Okay. And have you noticed the COVID world that we're living in now that changed any of the kids' perception about sports or drive to get better?
Seeing them lose basketball last year, because they got to play a season this year, but their season last year got cut off midway. Seeing them lose basketball, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. They didn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine me at 17 years old. That's all I wanted to do at 17 was play basketball.
Play ball.
I lived for basketball season. That was it. The only reason I went to class, the only reason I did homework was to be eligible to play basketball.
Now it seems like all the kids want to do is be on their devices, and be on their video games.
They have so many more distractions than we did.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
So many more distractions than we did.
My son is one hell of an athlete, and he plays NCFC soccer.
Very cool.
And he would rather slit his wrist than go outside and practice with the soccer ball, because he's so damn addicted to the screens, to that blue light, and those instantaneous response and dopamine hits that those things produce. That in sports, it's almost hard to compete with those things. And especially coming off a year of COVID where you weren't able to go outside, you weren't able to hang out with anybody or do any of those sorts of things. Man, it's like getting kids off of drugs.
Yes,
it is.
Sure. For sure.
I was talking to a few people about this. I think Dre and I actually had this conversation. I'm a diehard basketball fan, right?
Same.
Diehard college basketball fan. And the not having the fans in the arena has really, it's not hurt my fandom necessarily, but it's
changes
tainted
the
my
experience.
viewership 100%.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching NFL football or something like that,
All use the field.
All use the field. You don't see the fans unless they want to point the camera at the fans.
Yep.
Like baseball, college basketball, it's that instant reaction. When some shit goes down, it's that instant reaction, and you just feel that. And you haven't been able to feel that.
The
this
piped-in crowd noise just doesn't do the same thing.
You know, the last two home UNC games, they've had 3,300 fans or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And it seemed like 20,000.
Yeah.
Just because there hasn't been that. And it made the experience definitely more enjoyable.
Yes.
But, man, there's still nothing like seeing a couple thousand, 20,000 fans just go freaking batshit crazy over something. And it just it makes
Seeing
me
6,000 Duke fans cry.
Yeah, that's always a fun night.
There's nothing like that.
For sure.
That's always a fun night.
Yeah.
So I want to pivot back to the Guru School. Tell us a little bit about your after school programs or your summer programs that you have for these kids, because if we're going to have people that are listening that want to have childcare for the summer, I'm sure that's starting like now.
Yeah, we are.
And then it's probably filling up really fast if it's not done already. So tell some people what's going on.
Basically, our summer camp is going to be a lot less structured than our virtual learning stuff, because right now with the virtual learning stuff, these kids, although they're not in school, they still have responsibilities that they have to do every day. So we make sure they get all that stuff done. So with summer camp, basically just running around, being active. We're going to have pizza day. We're going to have like different activities, all types of different stuff. Like they're going to do arts and crafts, all type of stuff. Like I just want, it's trying to say, like you were talking earlier, get them away from the screen, force them to interact, force them to have fun.
So tell people where you are.
We are in Hillsborough, North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
Off Meadowlands.
Right, off Meadowlands.
Right.
Yeah, we're right next to the Joe. What's the guy at the coffee company?
The
Joe Van Gogh.
Joe Van Gogh. That guy. Yes.
All right, so you are, because I know the placement, because I too live in Hillsborough, so I know the placement of your gym.
Yep.
You are very close to the Eno. Yep. You are very close to Okanichi State Park, the Okanichi Speedway and stuff. Are you going to be utilizing those over the summer?
Now that you said that, yeah.
Okay.
See, because outside of my gym, I don't really know much of Hillsborough.
If you go down to where the stoplight is, so you can get on 40
Yep.
or 85, you take a right instead. Okay, and there's a speedway called the Okinichi Speedway. And fun fact, it used to be one of the last dirt track NASCAR tracks in the country. Very cool. You have people like Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty that have all raced there, and it is 0.7 of a mile around, 0.3 of a mile in, and it's surrounded by the river. Yeah, and it's nothing but recreation area, so it'd be great for you to take your kids. You can get there through that neighborhood they just built.
So are you saying River State Park is right there too?
The River State Park is like 3 miles to the right.
Oh yeah. That's a great place. That's a great place to take kids.
What I'm talking about is walking distance. He had to pop them in a van.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Even if you did pop them in the van, I mean, that River State Park hike is one of the largest elevation changes of any park in the Triangle area, and it'd be a great place if you want to take them for some.
Take them out there and look for Bigfoot.
Well, not only that, but take some training, do some field running out on the trail, and have them running uphill and stuff like that. I guarantee you, a few weeks of that, and they're going to be very good shape.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that because once the pandemic hit, we were outside working out, so we had to do a lot of our stuff outdoors at different parks around the area. So one of our main places that we used to go to is the Dean Dome, right there, the courts. We would be right out there at the basketball court. So we would do basketball for an hour and a half, and then I would literally make them start at the bottom of the hill and sprint up to the stoplight.
Like, you've been to the Smith Center.
They hate.
You've been to the Smith Center.
Yeah.
What hill he's talking about?
Yep.
When I tell y'all they hate the hill,
who wouldn't hate? I don't like walking.
How do you sprint up that damn hill?
They don't even call it the hill. They call it that bitch.
You know
I
what?
hate that bitch.
You know what?
They refer to it as that.
They're also teenagers, bro.
Man,
they hate everything.
They hate the hill.
Not only do they hate everything, but they also can do anything really physically.
Yeah.
And so running up that hill, you remember? It's like we had this conversation one day. Whenever like you rode a bike as a kid, you rode a bike as a kid.
Yep,
we all rode bikes as kids. You didn't feel your quads when you were 13 riding that bike, but when you're 40 riding that bike, you feel every fiber twitch in that sumbitch.
Tell me about it.
All of it.
Hurts.
I didn't know when I was in my teens and 20s that shin splints were a thing, but let me tell you about shin splints. Like, I do anything, and this whole part of my leg was like on fire. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, man.
I didn't even do nothing.
That's hilarious.
So, Mike, there's a lot of fun things to do that you can take kids to do. I'll show you.
You're gonna have to.
And there's literally right around where you are,
especially walking distance.
So if there is, we'll talk later, but tomorrow. Let me know what you're doing tomorrow.
All right, got you.
Hold on. I just have to point out that Dre's losing it over there still over shin splints.
Because we're talking shit that hurts when you get old. Hey, how about do you want to turn this into the "I'm too old for this" shit segment? I'm too old for this.
I'm not too old for shin splints. I'm just the right age for that shit.
Tennis elbow, shin splints, turf toe.
Oh man, I got tennis elbow
like
holding myself.
You know what I'm saying? When you were talking about it, it's like a feel.
This is one of the things, man. It's like when you're watching the show and somebody gets hit in the face and you're like, I can feel that. I know what that feels like.
Dang, it's just their words.
I played tennis a lot growing up, so I actually had shin splints when I was a teenager. I've seen some pictures of you out on the tennis court. Do you have some people that you train out there or something?
No. So before we graduated to the hill, I used to make them run around the volleyball court. So we would be walking from the basketball court through the tennis court to the volleyball court. They call that Sandy. We refer to her as Sandy, and the hill is that bitch.
So you just take them out and about to train.
Is the hill that one that comes
from Manning down to the Smith Center, directly down?
The one you
buses
down.
So there's another interesting
one.
One that goes from. Do you know where the ropes course is?
Yes.
All the way up to the top of that parking lot past the tennis court.
Sure.
Ropes course.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's on Carolina's campus.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Me.
Yeah. I'll take you out. I can take you out.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah.
But it's not.
It's actually like it's part of the disc golf course. The UNC disc golf course.
I'll tell you though, Dom. Like this hill, you know it because whenever you went to the Smith Center to watch the Carolina Duke game, did you take a bus? Did you drive?
Well, here's the funny thing. I took the bus and then we walked after the game from the Smith Center to Franklin Street.
So you walked up the big ass hill. That's the hill he's talking about. That's that one.
Talking about. And we actually we graduated to the hill because they used to complain about the sand messing up their socks.
You can't have it mess up
holes
some socks.
in their socks, or they would go home and wash their socks, and they would still have sand in them after they
Did you, after switching them over to that bitch, did you ask them how they missed the sand?
No, but even still, as much as they hate the hill, they hate the sand even more. They hate the sand.
So parents, if you're going to have your kids go to the Guru School,
I might have them running in sand.
in good hands, and they'll come back in good shape,
Absolutely.
and more importantly, come home very tired.
100%.
So speaking of that, just in general, as a youth sports director, talk about. And I know it, and Clint knows it. We all know it, being a little bit older generation and participating in sports and the importance that plays for a child's mental health. Because I think right now, a lot of parents, especially parents of teens, are going through something where kids, all the kids, are depressed.
Yeah.
Because they've spent over a year now in the house.
Or just
nothing
away
but
from
screens,
their friends.
away from their friends, away from their school, away from their normal life, away from their sports. What is it that getting involved in sport, I don't care if it's basketball, swimming, tennis, just anything to get you outside, get you that vitamin D, get you that like activity. How important is that for the emotional health of these kids, especially teenagers?
I just think it's super important because although you going to play sports, you're meeting teammates. At the same time, you're still gaining friends. And it's the kids that I work with, like they met each other. There's some kids who didn't know each other until they came to see me, and they met because of basketball. But now they're best friends. Like they rely on each other for so much. Like they trust each other. They bounce things off of each other. They're going through the same type of thing. The same way that there's one teenager going through the pandemic, their friends are going through the same pandemic. So they just have each other to lean on in times like this.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't have many friends. Life sucks right now, bro.
Yeah. Well, the way
you know what I'm saying? The older that I don't have many friends.
The way the pandemic hit, though, it just came so fast that
nowhere.
even people who had their friends at school, all of a sudden they just the instantaneous isolation that happened didn't allow those bonds that would last them into the pandemic, and now they're struggling. So I feel like if we can tell parents that are listening to this, anything going through the pandemic is find a sports program that's out there. I know,
find a safe one. Find a safe one.
Right now, town of Cary, everything's shut down. Raleigh, everything's shut down as far as the rec league stuff. But if you can find something that's safe, I don't care if it's basketball, volleyball, golf, whatever it is, let them get outside and let them get some time to be around other people, other kids, because that's going to do a universe of good. Because right now, kids are, they think they're fine. But the only thing that's holding them together at the moment is their addiction to those screens. And as soon as you pull them away from that, holy shit. It was hard before the pandemic, but fuck me. It is a nightmare.
They love their screens.
No, they don't love their screens. They are dependent on them now.
My son literally takes his cell phone in the bathroom with him to take a shower, like all types of shit. Like he has to watch Netflix.
I do that.
I do too. Yeah, ironically enough, I do the same shit. But
so it's not all that different. I think we all need to get the fuck outside and do something.
That's why stuff is so important, like golf and all that stuff.
All types of stuff.
Hiking, doing anything.
Get out the house, go do something.
Yeah,
go do something.
Yeah, man, the way that this is affecting kids, man, I can't even imagine. And I do have a question about the friendship stuff.
Yes, sir.
So do you find it easier? Do you find that it's easier for boys to bond over sports, or do you see it equally with girls and guys?
I don't, man, it's pretty equal.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, it's pretty equal. It's interesting with boys because when we first meet each other, we're competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And girls aren't as I don't want to say they're not as competitive. They're just as competitive. Be clear.
On a different level.
It's just they're a lot quicker to drop the competitive side.
That's really funny because if let's say Dre and I have known each other for almost 30 years. So let's say Dre and I didn't see each other for 10 years. I could see Dre somewhere and we would be having a conversation just like we are right now.
Oh yeah.
And I don't
it's no time has passed.
Right, and that's
I have friends like that.
Yeah.
100%.
And I have
like that.
and my wife says that it's just a guy thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree with her. right? Because guys get together, so we don't have to talk about anything that happened in the last 10 years.
Right.
We're
That's
just
exactly
going
what
to
I'm
bullshit about
saying.
what's going on today.
Exactly.
And
That's
like-
why I was
and-
wondering.
And I've had women in my life see that relationship and be like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Didn't you ask him about what's going on in his life? Like,
No.
why would I do that?"
Why would I do that? If he wants to tell me, he'll
Yeah.
tell me. Like,
I
what
think
the hell?
I think women have a totally different interpretation of how men talk to each other when
Yeah.
women aren't around.
Yeah, I
Like,
think so too.
They like talking about us.
Yeah.
We could care less about talking about us. I don't ask my homies about their love life. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I don't
No,
care
that
about
does
who
not
my
come
homies banging
up.
and shit like that. I don't care.
So
about
no
I could care
offense to women who are listening
Not-
right
no,
now.
no
We don't
offense.
mean that
That's
as a
what it
negative.
is.
It's just
No.
it's
just
just
guys.
how it works.
It's just
Guys
how
don't do that.
guys do with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, or people that we've known that we.
And anybody who would like to share that we are completely dead ass wrong about
Please, please.
this, email
Sure we
us
are.
at Joe Schmo Sports Show at gmail.com, and we would be glad to have you on the show to talk about
Yes.
women and their relationships,
Yep. Yes.
and we'd be interested to have that conversation.
Or DM us on Twitter
Yes.
at JSchmo Sports.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so let's talk about Jersey Mike's a little bit. So Jersey Mike's not a sponsor, could be, call me, but they are a sponsor. They are a sponsor for Mr. Mike Jones and the Guru School. So tell us a little bit about number one, what this is. Number two, how this became for you, and number three, I want to hear about this interview.
All right. Okay. So this Jersey Mike's thing. Jersey Mike's, they do a community hero award every year. And essentially what happens is they have an open forum where people can nominate different people.
Yeah.
They take the top 5 nominee getters or nomination getters in the country, and they give them an award, a community hero award. Just so happens this year I got the most nominations in the whole country.
That's dope.
So
that is
So
awesome.
who started this ball rolling for you?
I honestly, man, I couldn't tell you.
Nobody's
I
come
think-
forward to
I
tell
think
you?
it was one of my kids had sent me the award one time, and I just glanced at it. I was like, man, there's no way we'll win some shit like that. Nobody cares about what we're doing in Hillsborough, North Carolina. So I wrote it. I'd forgotten all about it, honestly. And then one day they emailed me like, yeah, you're a community hero. And then I got on the phone with them. And they're like, you're not only a community hero, like you got the most nominations in the entire country. I think of 7,000 nominations, I got like half, maybe.
Damn, dude.
It was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot. It was a lot. It was
Wow.
a lot. I
That's
don't think
crazy.
I don't think they should. Yeah, I don't think I should be telling y'all that. But they told me in confidence. But yeah,
We can edit that out.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Who cares? But so anyways, I get this award, and they donate $5,000 to the gym, and they also featured me in like this documentary type thing. So this past weekend, they came to film the documentary at the school. Yes, they came and basically filmed me for a day, and they interviewed me for about 2 hours. It was super intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super intense.
What
like,
was it since?
It wasn't like this. They didn't pour you a drink and just let you
It
talk
wasn't
about
like
whatever
this
the
at all.
fuck you
No, it was like, it's just interesting because like in the basketball world, kids constantly want to be filmed, and they want to film their workouts, and they want to cut up little mix videos and
put them on the tickety tock.
Exactly, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
it's
too
like,
old for this shit.
I have kids coming in with cameras all the time to film different kids that I'm working with and stuff like this. Wasn't like this. Like they showed up with boom mics and big lights and all type of shit. Like I was sitting on this stool and they got this big camera in my face.
Felt like you were Jordan in the last man.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It was just like I've got these big huge lights. There's a mic hanging above my head.
That's
Like,
intimidating.
it was super intense, bro. They're
and-
asking me all these questions that it was like, why do I do what I do? And this, that, and how many kids have you touched? And all type of stuff. It was really intense. They almost made me cry.
Whoa,
Not
wait,
gonna lie.
whoa.
Yeah.
They don't let that last question, like in a good way. I was just gonna say the last time Clint got interviewed, it was more like Rodman on the last time.
Yes, but it was interesting. They interviewed my son. They interviewed some of the kids that I work with. They interviewed my parents. They came to my mom's house. We were sitting in my mom's kitchen with big ass. It's funny.
She cooked something up.
It's fun because my
Honestly,
mom,
it is
when I
proud.
told my mom about this award, I don't think she understood how big a deal it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, they want to come film at your house. And she said, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. They pulled up with big ass cameras and they're dropping a mic in her shirt and all. My mom's like, what the fuck is going on?
I bet you.
crazy.
After that experience, she couldn't have been more proud of you.
No doubt.
If you made it all into the NBA,
Man,
she's more proud about this than anything like that.
Well, it's like they say the Walter Payton
so
Man of the Year award is
impactful.
that's the
So
most
impactful.
prestigious award in the NFL.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So this
But that's you as a
is
human.
very similar.
Yeah.
She was a human.
Yeah.
I think the trippiest part of it was to see my mom. So
Is that what almost made you cry?
she cried. They interviewed her and she cried.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was that what almost made?
What made me cry? What did she ask me? I can't remember what it was. They were interviewing just me, and I think they asked me to describe how proud I am of the kids or something like that.
Oh wow, yeah, sure.
Man,
Yeah, I get
bro.
that. We won't
Lips
ask you
started
that.
quivering and shit. I'm like, man, this is
that's what they wanted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She
yeah.
was saying that. Yeah, she
Oh,
kept
yeah.
saying, I'm
She's
gonna
like,
get you
oh,
to cry.
yeah, this
I'm
is
gonna get you to cry. Very cool.
What you should have done at that point is just jumped up on the couch. I'm so damn proud of these kids.
It was crazy though. It was like honestly, part of it was super awkward because it's just I don't like people making a big deal about what I'm doing because I feel like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
I feel like everybody should care about kids. Everybody should care about other people. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to give yourself kudos.
No,
Right.
to me, when you make a big deal about me doing that type of stuff, it's like, why aren't you doing
Right.
this type of stuff?
Right.
You know, like there's
Well, here's the thing.
bazillion people
the
on Earth.
fact that they're making such a big deal about it tells you a lot about society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no doubt.
Not that you're not doing an amazing thing, because you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
But the fact that it's that unusual, doesn't that just blow your mind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little awkward. Like,
Look, a lot of people are just busy with their lives, right? They have kids, they got careers, their careers aren't dedicated to other people's kids and things like that. You got your own kid.
Yep.
But you dedicating your life to something that you're really passionate about, which is working with kids, teaching basketball, bringing them up, giving them a safe place to learn the sport, to
Be creative, all that stuff.
to
Be
improve their
inclusive.
minds in a
Exactly,
lot
yeah.
of different ways. And the fact that it is such an aberration is it speaks
a
to
lot.
it speaks to not I wouldn't say how empty our society is, because I don't think it's that. I just think it's we move at such a speed in life in this country. People two income households, people, the 40-hour work week is completely gone.
Yeah.
People are working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Two parents, kids coming home, they're having to do their own homework, fix their own snacks, stuff like that. Parents barely get home for dinner. Even in the best of circumstances is what I'm saying. You think about like even people that don't have even that much. It's just hard to focus on kids when you've got so much shit to worry about yourself. So that's what it says that you're doing. What you're doing, it's passion work, and it really is incredible that you dedicate that much time and effort. It's like a teacher, but you don't have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's what you choose to do, and we applaud you for that.
I appreciate that.
And that actually leads in perfectly to the next thing I wanted to go through.
What's up? Talk
So
to
I'm
me.
going to read the Jersey Mike's description of what award you won. Okay.
I
So
hear that.
Jersey Mike's hometown hero. Only 5 people awarded the $5,000 grant for making an impact on a local community. Grants designed to help them make an even bigger impact. So my question to you is, how are you going to make that bigger impact, or what are you going to do? What plans have you made? Or
Right now, the biggest goal is to get our gym space in an air conditioner.
okay,
That's the biggest goal. Right now, inside of basically when you walk into my gym, we've got 2 offices, we have a bathroom, and then we've got the big gym space. In the offices and the bathroom, we have AC, but then inside of the gym space,
Like
we
Cameron.
don't. Exactly.
Okay.
Similar
and
to
who
that.
are you working with? Are you working with a local company?
Honestly, we're just trying to raise the money at this point. So
Okay.
I haven't even got that far in my head.
Okay, Dom and I we're like connectors in the networking world and whatnot, and I have a lot of ideas behind this that literally just came to my head.
I thought you were going to say you had an air conditioner laying around.
my mind's like right now, like how many HVAC people do I know that own their own
Well,
companies?
so exactly,
Like,
this is where I'm going too.
Yeah.
And there's one big one in Hillsboro,
Really?
and they love to sponsor things.
Wow.
And
Okay.
what I'm thinking is maybe a
You
trade-off
got to
of
get
some
me in the
sort.
Hillsboro inner circle, bro.
Okay, bro.
You
And
got
we're
you.
about to do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
man, you got to pull
And
the curtains
well,
back
it's-
from me,
It's
bro.
Larry Warren. He owns Warren Hay Heating
Okay.
and Air, and they're
Okay.
a big,
Not a sponsor, but could
big
be.
space. Could be big space. I've been a friend of Larry's family for a very long time.
Very cool.
And he, as I said, they like to sponsor things. And if we could get you guys hooked up and get you
How
an
much
air
squ-
conditioner,
how much square
for
footage are we talking
sponsoring,
about?
Right, that's another question.
2,200.
Okay,
2,200 square
22.
feet.
So just
How high are the ceilings?
19 feet.
19 feet.
So that's going to take a little bit more than a normal 2,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
But we could, like, maybe they'd be willing to work off something. Let's see what we can work up.
Man,
let's
that'd
see
be
what we
super
can work
dope.
up,
That
man.
would be
Because
super
there's a
dope.
bunch of people that we could all reach out to.
Yeah,
They're all about
and-
helping, so why shouldn't somebody help you?
It's funny because when I first got into this process, in my head, I was just like, man, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find a space. I'm going to put a basketball goal up. Man, we fucking rolling. Just man, there's so much shit that goes into opening a business.
And air
bro.
conditioning is one of those things.
I have
Oh.
a wonderful example. I have a wonderful example. One day, I'm sitting in the office.
Yeah.
I'd probably been in the space maybe 6 weeks. I'm sitting in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
office. They're installing TVs and shit. I'm sitting here minding my business. All of a sudden, this man walks up with a white shirt on and a clipboard. He starts knocking on the door. I open the door. Yeah, I'm the fire marshal.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So 56 mistakes later,
Yeah.
he gives me a $400 fine
Yeah.
for anything under the sun. He's man, you got to pay this here. I won't be back for 3 years, but you got to.
You need fire
Hey,
extinguishers
hey.
on
Like,
this wall.
I
this
didn't
wall,
have
this wall.
outlet covers like
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like,
Well, look.
He will pull up on you.
He's,
Trust
me. Yeah, I'm
he's
sure.
He will
essential.
pull up.
He's
He is
essential.
yes,
for
understood.
sure.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
here's the thing: are you going to be serving kids food?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you had the health inspector there yet?
Jesus. No.
I'm gonna take
And
that
I
as a no.
ask because you're going to need to get somebody who's ServSafe certified. You probably
okay.
want to get somebody on staff who
Okay.
is a food service expert,
Okay.
specialist, or at least just professional
All right.
to be able to do
Even
that
if you're doing
stuff
like
and
bag
take care of it.
lunches?
Yeah.
See, for the most part, the kids bring their own lunches, and on
Well, that's fine.
Fridays we have pizza day. That's the only
Well,
time
if you're buying pizza and bringing it in,
That's literally- that's the only time- that's
if
the
you're
only time-
producing the food,
Oh,
on
no, no,
site,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Hell,
So
okay,
you don't have a
okay.
kitchen
No,
there
yeah,
for
yeah.
any reason.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
I was just thinking,
love
like,
making tacos.
with the
I
fire
ain't doing it for
inspector,
everybody.
with the fire inspector, and then you got the health inspector.
Yeah, nah, man. But the fire inspector, the fire marshal, he just walked
Look, they're
up one
just,
day.
you know what?
It was crazy,
You're
man.
you're doing good stuff.
Yeah.
They
I
want to
appreciate
make
it.
sure the kids are safe. They want to
Yes.
make sure everybody's safe. They're there to do a job. And you just got to roll with it. And it's a lesson learned, and a lot of business people learn the same hard lesson,
Yeah.
and it sucks, but it's something you're not going to mess up next time.
No, not at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
And-
no going
yeah.
forward, bro, that you have two people here that know people that do literally everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate
And
it.
we have built our networks as such to where people that we know will do things for us.
Yeah.
I think it's funny y'all say that networking stuff. I think that's where I struggled as a man.
I got you.
Because I feel like in my head, I just feel like everybody's competition. I don't want to ask you for shit.
Yeah, no.
I'll figure it out myself. You know
here's
what I'm
the,
saying?
Here's the thing. Here's the
And
thing.
my biggest fear is, or it used to be, is me reaching out to somebody for help and then becoming super duper successful, and that same person saying, "Man, he'd have never got there if it wasn't for me."
Right.
well,
You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
Let me
Can't
tell
think
you,
like that.
I've grown out of that now. I've grown out. You can't do shit by yourself. You
people,
can't.
No, you can't.
people who act that way are not good networkers.
Yes.
Here's the way it works. People like Clint and I, we don't go into it going, "Hey, can you help me do something?" What we do is we go to people and we're like, "How can we help you? How can we do something for you?"
Who can we introduce you
Who
to that will help you?
And a lot of times we've helped them, and we then introduce the next person that we come along to that we know needs something to somebody who can help them, and so on and so forth. It's just giving and giving. But here's the thing: you're way ahead of us.
Yep.
You've already been giving.
Yep.
You give to the people that can't give back.
That's right.
In any way, shape. Like the kids, they're not giving because they're kids. They need everything given to them right now. But and that is what it is. But people hear that story and they're gonna want to help you without asking for help. They just need to know about it. That's
you have
all.
No idea.
Yeah.
Like no idea.
Really?
Like the some of the platforms that we're on and some of the people that we know, man, they're
And-
all about giving.
and-
giving it for
Yeah.
sure. It's insane. And if you're willing to accept the help,
Yes.
like I have zero doubt that we could help get you things that you guys would need.
Well, this
And that's
is me
not.
humbly.
I don't want to make it feel like Clint's tooting his own horn or
No.
I'm tooting my own horn. It's just
what we do.
I think there's a difference
it's-
between tooting your own horn and stating facts.
right. And
well,
it's facts.
Like if I say I'm the guru, am I
Yeah.
tooting my own
No,
horn? I'm
no,
just
no,
stating
no.
the fact.
But I think really what we're saying just in general is people are kind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people want to help people. They just need to know.
At least the people we associate with.
I think in general most people are good.
I
have
hope to.
I hope
think
that's true.
I have a very positive outlook on
hope that's
human
true.
nature. There's some people, but most people they're on the up and up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
For
okay.
sure.
So what's your ultimate goal with the Guru School?
The ultimate goal is to open 4 or 5 of them.
Okay. Are
That's
you
the
where,
ultimate
like
goal.
in North Carolina, you looking to branch
Honestly,
out?
I've already started looking at my second
Where at?
location, man. It's right there across the street from the Baxter. You know where the barbershop is?
Yes.
The brick building, right there. But that one isn't going to be basketball. It's going to be all academic.
Because
all,
that's
that
a much
location,
smaller
and that
space.
location's amazing. In
Man,
terms
but
of the elementary school.
isn't that like Park Place? Like talking Monopoly here?
No,
Like rent
ironically enough,
'Cause that's in Carborough, right?
I think it's a Chapel Hill address.
it a Chapel
I could
Hill
be wrong.
address?
I could be wrong, but I think it's a Chapel Hill address. I did my due diligence, and I found out that the people who own the building are black.
Okay.
They willed it to their kids.
Okay.
And their kids want a black business to be in there.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, that
man,
makes sense.
yeah,
Let
I
me-
fit that category.
let me-
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Let me, because my mind thinks in a strange way whenever I think of businesses, is like, how can this be scaled? And it seems to me that the idea that you could take basketball schooling, right? You've got the skills and the education when it comes to direct basketball training, and then you combine that with the tutoring for young people, and then the camps in the summertime, and maybe after school programs. And that seems like something that you could open in almost any community
Anywhere.
in the country.
Where?
You wouldn't have to just like I hear
Anywhere.
you say my ultimate goal is to open 4 or 5 of these, and I'm like, why is your ultimate goal not to open 4 or 5,000
Right.
of these?
Yeah.
Why
No
are
doubt.
you not
I
the
like where your
Jersey
head's at.
Mikes
Yeah.
of teaching kids the value of playing ball and at the same time making sure that their mind is right?
I agree with
Like where
Dominic.
That is. Imagine the impact
Man,
of
that's
that
insane.
on the lives
couldn't
of
even
kids
imagine.
in this country.
Sheesh.
You could do it.
I could.
You could do
You
it.
just convinced me.
Yeah.
You sold me.
Hey,
1,000
I think
of
you
them.
take that.
4,000.
I think you
4,000
take
of
that
them. I like
concept and see if you can get into Launch Chapel Hill, and that is a boot camp for people to learn how to be a business.
Does it matter that I'm a nonprofit?
That's what I was going to ask. And do you
Does
have
that
your 501?
Yes.
Okay. So
Does that matter that I'm a nonprofit?
Ooh, I
we
don't
we
know.
literally just had a conversation with somebody
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
No, all of the money that I generate at the Guru School stays in the Guru School.
Yeah,
Like
so-
it doesn't come to me. I definitely didn't do this to get rich.
Dom and I are going to hook you up with a friend of ours that
Several.
has a
Several friends.
super successful nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah,
And she does. So what?
she builds bikes for kids.
Okay, so she'll take a
Super
school.
dope.
She'll take a
Yeah.
school.
Anything for kids,
right?
I'm with it.
An entire school
Yeah.
that's underfunded in an urban community, whatever it may be. And she finds out how many kids are in the school, if there's any with special needs or anything, and they literally custom make their bikes. And then they have a big, huge unveiling of 300, 400, 500 bikes
Yeah.
for these kids. Like this one was on Steve Harvey talking about this because she, like you, she started like a GoFundMe that just blew up.
Yes.
Like just took off.
Yeah.
So you guys are in the same space as far as the kids go.
Well, and here's the thing: she got on Steve Harvey,
Yeah.
and then Oprah wanted to have her on, but then she couldn't because Steve Harvey already
Oprah.
got to her first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you been on Steve Harvey?
No.
Let's get you on Oprah.
That's right. He said, "Who are you talking
Sign
to?"
me up. Hey, sign me up. Hey, sign me up.
Well,
That's
yeah,
possible,
we will definitely make those connections.
That's actually possible.
That
yeah,
is. That
it's
is.
definitely possible because of the award, the
Todd.
Jersey Mikes
Yeah.
and the
Love
D
it,
Todd.
D.
Yeah,
Todd.
Don't even
exactly.
get me started
And we're
with
gonna
that.
She
skip the
can get
Dr.
you
Phil
there.
show though.
Yeah, because D knows
wasn't that-
everybody, and she's
Wasn't
huge.
that her friend that hooked up her in Stedman?
Yes.
Yeah.
She hooked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 There we go.
You right about that. We did
I
talk
forgot about
that.
that.
I
There you
totally
go.
forgot about that.
If Oprah needs me, I'm coming.
Yeah. No doubt.
I'm pulling up.
Oh, no
That
doubt.
might
I'll be there.
doable.
Like today.
Let me know.
Hey,
today,
hey,
like right now.
Hey,
Hey,
might be
she gonna make
doable.
you cry.
Oh, I'll fucking cry like a baby on Oprah. Are you shitting me? My mom used to record Oprah every day on a VHS.
Yeah, boy, 4 o'clock.
I swear to God, the day that I see Oprah's couch, you could not tell my mom.
Oh yeah,
shit
you couldn't tell her
about
that. My
son.
baby on.
My
My
son's
baby
a
on. Oprah.
legend.
My baby's
Period.
on. Oprah.
All right, you know that
Straight
that-
up.
the last like a minute and a half is what we're sending to her as the
That's
clip,
right.
right?
Oh my God, please do. Please do. Please do. Oh my God.
That and the Jersey Mike's video.
I'm
It's
telling
gonna
you,
go
man.
out there. Yeah,
It is
yeah.
that Jersey Mike saying, "Big deal, man. Big deal."
I don't
And
even think I realized how big a deal
it should be humbling, and you also should be very proud.
I am.
You should
I am.
be,
I am.
and you have every
am.
reason to be. It seems, and I don't think I'm taking a big leap here.
What's up?
I think you like Kobe.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
Kobe. Love Kobe.
Got the Kobe's on.
Are
He's
you-
got,
are
he's
you-
got
are
the
you-
Mamba
Kobe.
tat.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love Kobe.
Okay.
So you're going in the way of Kobe. What he was
Trying
doing. when
I never thought about it
when
like
he
that. But
passed.
Yeah, I never
You
thought
know, I
about
mean,
it like that.
what he did for not only kids but females,
Yes.
like
Women's
girls,
basketball.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
and his passion behind that. Let's talk about your podcast a little bit.
Yes,
and
please.
I know you're not. You said you're not really working on it right now.
It's not as formal and as structured as y'all's, but
So not
we-
formal.
Did you just say
I'm just-
structured?
You
no,
see
but
what
what
we're
I'm
doing,
saying
bro?
is like we don't got fancy
You've been
boards
dropping
and
mics
mics and
and
mics and all this other shit.
We got
I literally
lucky, bro.
press record on my phone and I talk shit with my friend. For a second.
we got
Yeah.
lucky, bro.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So,
for sure.
Really
but the premise of my podcast is called the No Cap Podcast with Guru and Vaughn. Vaughn
Okay,
is my
okay.
brother,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
basically just interview my kids.
Yeah.
We talk about life. We talk about basketball. We play this or that, all type of shit like that. It's just
well,
it's,
then let's talk about some of your kids.
oh
So
please.
let's take a couple, 2 or 3.
All right.
Let's spotlight them. So
Okay.
where do they go to school? What are they
All right.
looking to do at
Okay.
the next steps? And maybe even how they've helped you at the Guru School.
We should have brought one.
Okay.
Maybe we can do that next time.
We should've
Well,
brought one.
when we get you on Oprah,
Yes.
we'll have
You
you
can
back
bring
and you
your
bring a
kid.
girl, bring one of your kids with you.
Oh man, I'd love to.
Yeah, okay.
I'd love to. I guess I should start with my son.
Start
My
with your
son's
son.
name is Jalen Jones.
Okay.
He just finished his junior season at Charlotte Latin.
Okay.
He was second in scoring and led the team in literally everything else.
Okay.
From the point guard position, he's super athletic. He's a way better athlete than I ever was.
And he's playing point.
yes, he
as well?
plays point and
Okay.
the 2 guard. He's not as cerebral as I was, but he's a way better athlete than me. Like my
Okay.
son is
Let me-
5'9". He can windmill.
Oh.
If that gives you any
Yeah,
reference.
that's crazy.
Oh.
He's bouncy as fuck.
He's
He's
got
got really
web.
long arms. Like
All right.
he's a phenomenal. My son is so athletic. He'd have been good at anything.
And he just got a
Nobody.
scholarship offer.
He's getting a lot of Division III interest
Okay.
right now. He's probably
Yeah.
had about maybe 10 schools call asking
Okay.
about him.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up? Talk to me,
How-
bro.
how's he doing in school?
He has a 3.7.
I love
Nice.
it.
Talk nice
That's
to
what
him.
I'm talking
Love
about.
it, love it,
The
love it.
student
His mom
athlete.
will fuck him up.
The
by his
student
grades.
athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one. I drive the basketball car.
Yeah.
Mom's like, he ain't playing basketball without his grades.
Right.
Good
Doesn't
for
matter.
mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has
So
3.7.
we have your son.
My son, he just finished his junior year.
Just finished his junior
Junior
year.
finished. Then we have I guess I should say Lainey Beal.
Lainey Beal. She was on your first podcast.
Yes, Lainey Beal
She's
plays.
the one that goes to East.
Yeah, no, she actually
Chapel
plays
High.
at Chapel Hill. Yeah,
Chapel
she
High.
plays at
Okay.
Chapel Hill. She just finished her junior year as well. She's very talented. Think Kendall Marshall.
Oh,
That's who she is.
Second favorite player at Carolina
She's
of all time.
Kendall Marshall.
Okay.
100%. She gets the outlet pass. Her very first thought is hitting the
And
ball up the court.
Is Kendall working with her at all?
No, but
I know you know those guys.
yes, I do know a lot of those guys. But Lainey's really good. She's left-handed like Kendall.
Oh,
She's getting a lot of Division I interest.
I bet.
A lot of Division I interest. She's another really good athlete.
Who's she getting it from?
Old Dominion.
Okay.
A bunch of mid-majors. William and Mary.
William and Mary's got a good program.
yeah,
though.
William and
Don't
Mary.
Hey, Old Dominion and William and Mary, you got that 757
Exactly.
connection back there.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. Then you got, who else has been talking to her? App State.
Okay.
UNC Wilmington.
UNC
Yeah.
Coastal Carolina.
It's hard to say no to Coastal.
It's,
or
it's
UNCW.
essentially all the UNCs but UNC.
Why not?
Ironically.
Well, it's 'cause-
I don't know.
So
they don't recruit local.
I don't know anything about Lainey, so I don't know her playing career or anything. I do know a little bit about Courtney Banghart, and I do know that 2021, 2022, she has a top 3 class.
Really?
That's all I do know.
She seems like a super cool lady. The couple times I've interacted with her.
I've actually went to a breakfast where she spoke when she first got introduced. It was fantastic. Like, she had me wanting to play, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I
imagine.
mean,
And he would have
apparently-
too, but those shin splints.
Man, those shit splits and the short shorts, man. I don't think I can.
Damn shins.
All right, so what kind of student do we have in Laney?
Laney's also a phenomenal student.
Okay, Chapel Hill City schools are not easy.
Yes,
historically.
For
And
sure.
I don't know if it's still
For
the
sure.
same way.
Yes, and she plays in the backcourt with this girl named Riley Corcoran.
Okay, she
Riley-
was also on your podcast.
Exactly. Riley just finished her junior season as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And she's the every time Laney gets the outlet pass and she hit it ahead, she's hitting ahead to Riley.
Okay.
And Riley's gonna go lay it. Yeah, Riley's getting a lot of Division II interest.
Okay.
Lenore Ryan really wants
Ooh, yeah, sure.
Riley.
It's a good school.
Yeah, super good student as well. Has an identical sister
when-
who's a ballet dancer.
When,
doubt.
Yes.
when do women's programs typically start recruiting
Ooh.
their
That is a good
classes?
question.
Because you hear, oh, are you getting a lot of Division II interest? But when the Division Ones go, no, you're gonna come here.
Yeah, it usually happens about now.
Yeah.
Riley's a Division I talent as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
All of my kids, they're really coachable. They're really receptive to being critiqued. I'll tell you, you're trash really quick. I'll be your biggest cheerleader, but at the same time, I'll tell you like your handle needs work.
What we should do, we should try to get it, and I'm going to say I'm 95% confident she would say yes. Let's get Dee to come talk to your girls.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
They would get a kick out of her.
Well,
I bet.
So you listen to that podcast, but she's responsible for like essentially officiating with the women's game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the women getting the same prize stuff that the men get.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she was very influential on
That
women's
lady's a
basketball.
rock star, man.
And
Yeah,
I
she
think
is.
that it would be a hell of a conversation for those girls, her and Jackie Wittenberg, Derek Wittenberg's
Yes.
wife, and they have the DW Foundation,
Would be cool.
and they also work with college kids. So they do, and tell me if I'm missing anything here, but what they do is kids that can't afford to pay the rest of their
So most scholarships go to
Freshmen, sophomore.
freshmen,
Yeah.
or kids early in the college process. The DW Foundation helps kids late in the college process so they can finish because
Very
that
cool.
gets ignored.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
true. A lot of
So-
kids do quit.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so I think those two together would be phenomenal to come talk to your
Please.
to your camp and
Please.
stuff. And
Please.
well,
I'm sure my kids get tired of hearing my voice.
I'm sure they
Well,
do.
you know,
Yeah, I'm sure they get tired of hearing my
and
voice.
Dee
for
Dee is
sure.
just so incredibly accomplished that
Yeah.
I think that it would be a phenomenal conversation.
She
for
does
sure.
seem like an amazing woman.
Yeah, she really is.
For sure. I should probably mention one more girl while I'm sitting
Yeah,
here.
do.
Aaliyah Harris.
Okay.
She plays point guard at Orange High School.
Okay.
Yeah, she just finished her junior year. She's getting a lot of interest as well. Division 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
She's Buckets. We call her Bucket. I love if I don't love you if you don't have a nickname.
Right.
Like if
Yeah.
I call you by your first name, I don't really fuck with you. We call her Little Bucket, right? So that's
Yeah.
her nickname. Bucket is getting a lot of interest.
So she can score.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she will get a bucket. Yeah.
Okay.
She's the score first point guard.
Okay.
Yeah. Laney wants
she's
to.
the Kobe
Laney's
White.
super unself. Exactly.
Okay.
What's Laney's nickname?
A Laney legend.
Yeah.
what
Laney
I call
Legend.
her.
There was
Laney
somebody with
Legend.
little eyebrows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little eyebrows. That's Bucket. 'Cause she's
Bucket,
so
okay.
worried about her makeup and her eyebrows all the time. We
What-
call her little
what-
eyebrows.
so
little
what's your-
turnover.
What's your boy's nickname?
Stink.
Stink.
Everybody calls him Stink.
That's because you.
Nah, he
do that?
when he was a baby. When he was a baby, I remember I take his little shoes off. His feet stunk so bad. He had grown man stinking feet, right? So it started as stinky feet, and it just graduated. There are people who literally don't know he has a real name because everybody just calls him Stink.
Like, it could be one of those things where whatever
Wow.
he does, you're like,
Yeah.
on court, you know.
Yeah.
Steak face.
Yes, for
You
sure.
know, after this gets on iTunes, he's gonna call you.
Dad, for real.
Damn it!
I ask him all the time, yo, you want me to stop calling you Stink? Nah, like he don't give a fuck.
All right.
He loves it. He's been Stink his whole life. So he don't care no more.
Yeah, the meaning of that name changes in college.
It really does.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
For sure. But
All right,
yeah.
Oh, man.
so, Mike, we want to be respectful of your time, man. Dom, is there anything else that you had that you wanted to talk about?
Man, I could talk to him all day, but
I'm
you
here
know,
all day, man. Whatever y'all want to do.
it's all good. It's all good. Nah, let's
Wrap it up.
Yep.
Dre, you got anything else, bro?
No, you good, man.
Okay. All right.
We just
man,
appreciate
great
you being
interview.
here.
Thank you so much for having me,
You,
honestly.
you've been
It's an
adding
honor.
great color to the show today, Dre, with your insights and witty sarcasm.
And your shin splints.
And your shin splits. Mike, we are very appreciative of you.
Thank you so much
coming
for
in
having me,
and
really.
like we only just met. We've talked a few times, but I'm proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
what you're going to
Really.
continue to do for the community. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with this Hometown Heroes stuff.
And with this air conditioning.
And with
that
the
you're
air
about to
conditioning,
get.
that's right. And we'll work on the introductions and whatnot, and see what we can do to help you and to help the Guru School. Is there
So much.
anything else that you wanted to add before?
Nothing, man. Just do something for other people, man.
Yeah.
Think about others.
Hell yeah.
No
Think
doubt.
about other people,
Yeah.
man.
I like that.
And I'll be honest with you guys. I guess when I first started this whole basketball training journey, like I wanted to be like famous and I wanted to have clout and I wanted, people to know me, shit like that. But now the older that I get, I just want to be remembered now.
Yeah.
That's all it
What do you
is.
want to be remembered for?
The guy who was the basketball trainer, but then he started doing shit for the community. He opened 5,000 or 6,000
gyms.
Guru schools. I've even thought about running for mayor of Carborough.
Yep. Do it.
I've thought about it.
You should do it.
The qualifications.
Why not?
I'm telling you, the requirements to be mayor, this is not that hard. You got to have your master's and you got to be 30 plus.
Can I pull
And
that back, though?
What's up? Talk to me.
You're going to have a much bigger impact on your community by
Not being
continuing
mayor.
to do what you do.
Really?
I think that's not
Really?
necessarily
Yeah.
false.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
State government is where the decisions are made, but like what you're doing with these kids, and I think
Yeah.
Dom's right. I think 4 or 5 needs to be 4 or 5,000.
Yeah,
you.
4,000 or 5,000
Like, I
of
think
these
that's-
is going to have much bigger impact on the lives of everybody.
Up
Just
and
think
down.
the Guru School right next to the name of boys and girls
clubs. Yeah.
So you're talking the same kind of impact, because that's
Yeah.
essentially
John
that's what
Avery
you're doing.
bracket.
That's what you're doing, though, Mike.
Yeah, essentially.
You know,
you're
so
onto something.
don't sell yourself short. Is what
Fair
we're saying.
enough.
Don't sell yourself
Thank
short,
you.
man. You've got a great thing going. You have the national recognition at this point, or you will very soon. And we couldn't be more excited just for
Yeah,
you,
man. It's
Y'all
awesome
put
to
a
have
battery in
somebody
my
like
back.
you right here in our community.
Yeah, no doubt.
I appreciate that.
It
honestly.
is.
I honestly
Yeah.
do
Hey,
appreciate
hey,
it.
one. You know what? I was thinking a question earlier,
got?
and I forgot about it.
What's
being that you're a local Durham guy and you grew up in that community, I know that.
Do I hate Duke? Yes.
Okay. Yep,
Good.
Yep.
Good.
And that's what we want to hear. But that was not the question
Okay,
that I was
all
going to
right,
ask.
okay.
All right, so
but a
I
hell
know.
of an answer,
So-
regardless of the question.
So I know the basketball and the hip hop community often it gets very well tied together. So we
absolutely.
have a gentleman who made the introduction music to our podcast,
Yes,
the opening
super
closing
dope.
music.
Isn't that
And-
great?
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's good.
DJ Skaz.
Skaz
Skaz
Digga.
Digga.
I've heard that name.
Big Daddy
Yeah.
Kane's DJ.
I've
Yeah,
heard that
hey,
name.
from Durham. He lives in Durham.
Fun fact, you brought up Big Daddy Kane, not to
Yeah.
cut you off.
Yeah.
When I was the FedEx man,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
once delivered a package to Big Daddy Kane's house at 8:30 in the morning. He answered the door in his drawers.
Nice.
We're
On the
gonna
show,
bring
too.
that.
100%
We're gonna bring that
facts.
back around because
Awesome.
I think he should do. I think we might be able to get a show like done for charity with
Wow.
the proceeds. That
That
we
would
can.
be
We might be
super
able to
I
do
don't
that.
think that's a bad idea.
Why not?
Yeah.
Skaz is great. The intro music is fire.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's very, very cool.
And
I agree.
so it just so happened we met him through a networking event.
Yeah. Again, there's that
There's
networking
the
shit.
network.
Because
Yeah.
he
yeah.
met Mr. Andre McNeil, who is the music director for BB King World Tour.
Wow, yeah.
And
You were
he's
telling me about him.
friends
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with Skaz
Mm-hmm.
and Big Daddy Kane. And so that's how we got that connection. And then they ended up just doing our music, man.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, it's just
So
fun.
I just didn't know, like, coming up in Durham, playing ball.
If you knew Skaz.
if you knew Skaz,
I've heard the name. I
Yeah.
have heard the name. I
Yeah.
can't tell you.
We're gonna get you guys hooked
Yeah,
up.
we'll
for
get
sure.
we'll definitely
Yeah,
get you guys hooked up. So,
Please do. Please
all
do.
right, if there's nothing else,
Hey, I will say we were talking earlier how we don't really like to ask for stuff, but I will
got?
say to
Oh.
the people that are listening to the show, we're gonna ask for you all to do something for us, which is subscribe to our show on iTunes.
Please.
Rate it.
Leave a rating and review, please.
Please.
5 stars. If it's
Yep.
anything less than that, we might just read it on the show.
Very
And-
snarky
and-
way.
and very snarky. Yeah, that could definitely happen. We also have a YouTube channel. We are at J Schmo Sports
On all-
everywhere you
on all
find
platforms.
us on social media. That would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We also are on Spotify. So everywhere you could listen to a podcast, if that's where you listen to your podcast,
that's where we
please
are.
subscribe to the
And
show
Mike-
and share it with your friends and family. And you know what? Tell Mike's story, man.
Yeah.
This is a
Definitely.
story that needs to be shared because he's making a huge impact on our community,
Yep.
and we're proud as fuck of him.
I
And
appreciate it.
Tell us where they can find you, Mike. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find us on Instagram at the Guru School NC, or you can find me MJBT_919.
And if you'd like to be on the show or anybody else that you think that we should be talking to, please email us at joeschmosportshow@gmail.com or go to www.joeschmosportshow.com and contact us
That's where
there.
all the
And-
content is.
Right.
Yeah, that's where all the content is, and that's also where our Amazon affiliate link is there. So if you want
Mm-hmm.
to help out the show, please click on our link there, and everything you purchase through that link is going to help us bring you more excellent content.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Can I ask you about your bills before we leave?
Oh, please.
How was your
Please.
year?
How was the year?
I mean, did you enjoy it? Even though y'all didn't.
I thoroughly enjoyed the year. There were some parts of the year that I was slightly frustrated with. There were other parts of the year that I was ecstatic
I could
about.
imagine it'd been a fun season
I
to
am
be a Bills
so
fan.
I am so glad to have a quarterback finally, like a
Amen.
legit top 5 NFL quarterback,
Amen.
an MVP candidate, and it hasn't been that way since Jim Kelly was there. And if somebody was mentioning to me earlier, "Oh, did you just put that flag up in the last year?" Hell no, man! I've been a Bills fan for my entire life since before they lost 4 straight Super Bowls. So I've been through the bad, the great, the terrible, and
All of
the excellent. Yeah, I'm disappointed they lost in the AFC Championship game. I thought they could have taken Kansas City, and I thought they would have taken Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl too. Shit happens, and they'll be back next year.
So how do you become a Bills fan in Virginia Beach?
That's a good question. So both my parents were from Buffalo. My entire family's from Buffalo. I got raised in that culture, and I come by it.
Honestly, I get it.
Yeah.
I love Carolina, and I never knew why. It's just because my daddy instilled it in me.
Yeah.
I never asked any questions.
You know what? I
That's all
didn't
it was.
I didn't grow up loving Carolina, but you know what? I grew up hating Duke. So
Yeah.
hence I'm a Carolina fan.
Fight the power.
Absolutely. I
love it.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll catch you next time.
Yep.
Until then,
guys, really.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you, guys.
And one last thing. Cut to the theme music.